Good morning and welcome to Transformation Tuesday. I hope you're having a brilliant day so far. Are you in my Facebook group, Digestive Detective Love Your Guts? If you're not, you should come over and check us out. We're doing lots of fun things. We're actually trying to rename the newsletter and everybody's giving me some great suggestions. So come on over and check it out. Today I'm talking about Janet, and Janet's a 55-year-old woman with diverticulitis and osteoporosis. So I'm Ange Sinclair and I'm the Digestive Detective. So Janet came to see me as she had just been diagnosed with osteoporosis. She wasn't really sure what she should do about it or where she should go. She also had diverticulitis and had recently had a flare. She was wondering if the food she was eating was impacting on the way her body absorbed the food she was eating, and wondered if this was part of the osteoporosis diagnosis. Her gastroenterologist said food did not play a part in diverticulitis, which we know is not true. For those of you that don't know, if you have gut issues, it can really impact the way you absorb nutrients and increase your risk of osteoporosis. So what is diverticulosis? So it's where small pockets are formed in the lining of your large bowel. So these pockets get inflamed or infected from food sitting in them, or even when the poo comes pushing past, it gets caught in those little pockets, and that can give you what's then called diverticulitis. So anything with itis on it means that it's inflamed. So once they're infected and inflamed, they are excruciatingly painful. Ask anybody who's ever had diverticulitis. Some signs and symptoms that it could be diverticulitis is that you have pain on your lower left side hand of your abdomen. I have had people say they had the pain on their lower right as well. You could have nausea, God, that's hard for me to say this morning, vomiting, they could be bloated, changes in their bowel habit, blood and mucus in their stool are commonly seen. So this is often diagnosed via colonoscopy or a CT scan. So generally diverticulitis is a sign that you're not eating enough fiber actually now or in the past. So once the little pockets are formed, it's really hard to close them back up. Generally really common in constipated people, but not always. So when you're having an attack of diverticulitis, you need to stick to a really low fiber diet because that exacerbates it when you're actually having the attack. So I suggest foods that are slow cooked, soups and smoothies that are well blended, so no food can actually get stuck in, so it's more liquid. Foods that the body doesn't have to really work too hard to digest. So there is often talk about people with diverticulosis and diverticulitis that they should avoid nuts and seeds, berries, and any fruit that has small seeds. So this has been, and it's still advice given by gastroenterologists, that has sort of been debunked over the years. So you certainly cannot eat those things when you're having an attack, but they are part of a healthy diet. If you have no problem with them, you should be including them in your diet. So what you want to achieve when you have diverticulitis is a no-strain bowel movement every day. So if you're constipated, you really need to fix that because that will make your chances of having an attack much worse. So make sure you are hydrated as well. Dehydration slows down our whole digestive system because the water is what moves the poo through our body. So if you're dehydrated, that's going to slow everything down. You've got more chance of getting stuff caught in those pockets. So you don't want to do that. So in my opinion, anyone that has a bowel issue should have a stool to put their feet on. So their body goes into the correct anatomical position when you're trying to have a poo. And I say that over and over to most people. So I recommend everybody get a toilet stool. And it can be a cheap stool from Kmart. I used to recommend phone books, but they're not so fashionable these days. It just makes the whole process easy and much more efficient because you're putting your body in the place where the valves all open quite quickly. So back to Janet. Her osteoporosis had just tipped from osteopenia into osteoporosis. There are many well-researched natural remedies that do not include serious pharmaceutical drugs that can help with osteoporosis. So I think things you need to understand is weight-bearing exercise is essential and you need to do it every day. A diet high in variety of diversity and variety is what I recommend to everybody. So this also is included for people who have osteoporosis. I also recommend that if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you should be doing some balance exercise every day. generally people fall and break their hips because they lose their balance and they fall. So it's about being able to hold your balance and maintain your balance. There are many well-researched foods that help with osteoporosis, like prunes and onions, herbs like sage, all easy things to include into your diet. Foods like tahini even is fantastic for osteoporosis. So Janet had just started doing weight-bearing exercise, and so we added a lot of the foods that have had really good evidence about them. Prunes are fantastic. There is really good evidence for prunes in osteoporosis patients' diet. So one thing we really focused on through the whole treatment plan was the quality of her digestion. Making sure that she was really relaxed when she ate really increases her chance of actually digesting and absorbing those foods. So we increased her bitter food so we could turn on her digestion, and we used digestive enzymes to make sure the food that she was eating, she was actually breaking down. Her water intake was a little bit lacking, which I see quite a lot, and I too, and that's my worst struggle. So I know that it's a problem, but it's a little known fact that being dehydrated can increase your risk of osteoporosis. That is actually one of the documented causes for osteoporosis. So consider that. With all those elements that we've added in, and we worked together, Janet and I, for just around about 2 years, and Janet had significant improvement in her bone density. So the last time she went and had a bone density test, she had gone from the osteopenia range in her left hip into the she'd gone from the osteoporotic range back into the osteopenic range. Plus her entire digestive system was working better overall. And unless you've actually had your bone density checked and have seen that feeling that you get when you've gone from osteoporotic back into osteopenia, it's a pretty special thing. So if you have diverticulitis or osteopenia or osteoporosis, not sure what you can do to improve these conditions, book in for a free 15-minute consult. I can see what you can add into your diet and lifestyle to improve these conditions. You really can make a difference if you start doing things early. And I'm a true believer in that, because I've actually reversed my own osteoporosis in my left hip. I've still got a bit to go in my spine, but in my left hip it's completely back to normal. So woohoo! So for all of those on Instagram, the link will be in the bio, and for those of you on Facebook, the link will be in this video. So come over into Digestive Detective Love Your Guts. Tomorrow we're actually doing a hot seat, if we can wrangle it, on somebody who I'm going to be running them through what they can do with their condition that they have, and things that they can do for that. So I look forward to seeing you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.